Beyond ARTV, beyond the reviews, it's time for a concert review slash recap. A lot of you guys had asked for me to do this one since you knew I was going to see Linkin Park. They're out on the Carnivores tour right now with 30 Seconds to Mars and AFI as support. And with a lineup like that, and of course Linkin Park period, had to go. A lot of times Linkin Park will skip my state, North Carolina, but not this time. They played at the PNC Pavilion in Charlotte, North Carolina. First off, we'll talk about the show, and I'll talk about some of the opening acts, and then I will talk about, and if you follow me on Facebook and Twitter, you probably know, getting to meet the band. There will be more details with that, so stick around to the end because I actually got to meet Chester. I'll show you the picture and everything like that. Anyways, AFI opened things up, playing hits like Girls Not Grey, Love Like Winter. Their set wasn't really that energetic. Davey Havok, lead singer of AFI, seems like he was lacking a little bit compared to what I was really hoping for. I was a little bit more excited for AFI than I was 30 Seconds to Mars, because them I could really take or leave, I guess you could say. I'm not really that into them. I like some of their singles. I haven't really found an album since A Beautiful Lie that I really loved from them, and that's been quite a while now, almost 10 years. AFI, dressed in all black out there, doing their thing, and they played, the songs sounded great. They sounded very close to studio quality. Davey even did a few screams. He let off a few times because it seemed like he was trying to save his voice, but a few screams. I think the songs that sounded the best were I Hope You Suffer and probably, obviously, Miss Murder. Their probably biggest hit, and they put a lot of effort into that one. And that's kind of where he kind of held off on the screams a little bit, but he did do those screams right before breaking into that last chorus, so I thought that was pretty cool. 30 Seconds to Mars were up next, and at this point, I was getting ready for the meet and greet with Linkin Park. I won that because you know, Linkin Park Underground contest selects some of the people to win. Kind of forgot that I entered, and then when I got the email saying that I won, I was so stoked. Like, I wish I had a reaction video to me reading that email. But anyways, at this point, 30 Seconds to Mars are playing, and I'm just thinking about the meet and greet. But still, I'm sitting there watching their set, and really, they started off energetic. Jared Leto comes out dressed like Jesus, pretty much, all white, a little crown on and everything like that, sunglasses. I really think that Oscar has just gone to his head, because he seems like he's got a huge ego on him. I get that 30 Seconds to Mars music is very grandiose and very over the top, but really, it came off as a very dull and boring set. Jared had plenty of energy and a lot of the performances. It's just that they played so many of the slow tracks, and there really wasn't that much enthusiasm, I feel like, going into it. It felt like we were just listening to a studio recording with Jared kind of running around in the audience and on stage. He even brought out the American flag at one point and had everyone saying God Bless America, which was kind of weird, and obviously all the 30 Seconds to Mars fans had their big old flags out in the crowd. So, take it for what you will. I'm not really the biggest Mars fan myself. Linkin Park, obviously what we're here to talk about, absolutely killed it. Definitely between them and Avenged Sevenfold for best live show that I've ever seen. Phenomenal performance. They played so many songs, 28 total if you're only including like the intros, interludes, everything. They opened it up with a mix of like the Requiem session, and then it led into Guilty all the same, and they just ripped through that track. Brad was absolutely shredding on guitar. Chester sounded so good on the vocals. I was a little bit worried that he would be like a little bit off on his screams, but honestly that was the best I had heard him sound in a long time, even from watching performances like on YouTube and stuff. His screams the entire night. He was adding in additional screams, even on tracks like What I've Done and New Divide. He's adding in extra screams, and he sounded so good on the old Hybrid Theory cuts that they played. They played a lot from that album, including like With You, Paper Cut, obviously In the End, their probably biggest hit next to like Numb or like New Divide or What I've Done. They played everything. They played a little bit off of each album. The only thing that was disappointing to me was the fact that they didn't play two of my favorite songs, Breaking the Habit and The Catalyst. They played a little bit of the intro from The Catalyst, but and right before like Guilty All the Same came on, but still, I was hoping for a full song. They played the instrumental from Blackout, and I was hoping for a full song performance on that one, but really, they just knew how to pace the show, and so I can't really be disappointed. It started off very heavy, then it got kind of a little bit more like in touch and everything kind of reeled it in, and it got more dramatic and very big. They had a lot of stuff from like 1,000 Suns, Living Things, some instrumentals there. Mr. Hahn got his turn on the turntable solo, and that was awesome to hear. He was really scratching it up there. Even their drummer Rob got at the very end on the encore on Bleed It Out, got a drum solo, and it was absolutely phenomenal. He went on and on and on and on, and it was like, wow, this dude is absolutely killing it. If anyone thinks that the band members aren't actually talented and can't play their instruments, you are sadly mistaken, because I saw Brad shredding on the guitar, Chester doing his thing on the vocals, and Mike obviously as well, and his rapping was incredible. You know, Rob on the drums, and of course Phoenix on bass. Everybody was on point, is basically what I'm saying. I think my favorite performance of the night was Faint. Chester sounded so angry and pissed off on that track, just like the studio version. Mike's rapping on that one was great. Chester got into the crowd, kind of wandered down, and like was singing and screaming still with the crowd all around him, so it was really intense, really cool, and they just had an awesome guitar outro on that one. It was just very heavy, so much riffage going on, and I liked that they kind of fused tracks together, added extra things. It made it a lot of fun. They played the Castle of Glass remix from the Recharged EP, so I thought that was interesting. They kind of played like the regular version at first, and then it broke into a lot more like dancier version. They played a little bit from A Light That Never Comes featuring Steve Aoki, so they played really everything. You should definitely go out and see this show if it's coming to your city. It's one that I'd say go buy a ticket for. That is my rating for this concert. Even though 30 Seconds to Mars is skippable, AFI was pretty decent, but still, Linkin Park obviously is what most people were there for, and I am glad that I went. And another reason that I'm glad that I went is because I had the meet and greet with the band. I got to meet all the members. I got my copy of Meteora signed, which was so cool. I will show you a picture of that here. So, yeah, I was just so excited to be meeting them. I talked to Chester for a little bit first. You know, I said, hey man, how's it going? I was like, I reviewed your album. I don't know if you remember, you tweeted it out. He's like, yeah, he's like, man, and then he like started talking about like my review style, and I was like, holy shit, this dude actually watched my review and like remembers me. He recognized me and talked about like how he's like, I like how you went into detail on each song and everything like that, and talked about everything, and then he was like, don't stop making reviews, and I was like, Chester Bennington of Linkin Park is telling me to not stop making reviews. I better listen to him. Mike came around, I talked to him for a minute as well, and then I kind of waited it out. I chatted with all the members for a second as they were going around the loop signing things, got to shake all their hands, everything. Chester gave me a hug, like I went in for like a handshake, and he just kind of like pulled me in. He was like, come here, man. And so I got hugged Chester Bennington. That was awesome. And then I kind of waited a little bit because there was a strict like no photo, no video policy. They're like, we'll do it all for you, we'll take a group photo. Well, the thing is, the group photo was with everyone in the meet and greet, and that was like 20 people, so I don't really care for a picture with like everyone and I'm standing in the background nowhere near the band members because I'm the tallest guy there. At the end, I waited around, got a picture with Chester. I talked to him again for a second, and I said, hey man, how about a picture for Album Review TV? He's like, yeah. He's like, man, we'll make that happen or whatever. And one of the girls and like the security guard, I don't know if she was with security or not, but someone that worked for like LPU, Linkin Park Underground or something, took the photo for us, and that's what's right here. So awesome, easily one of the best nights of my life meeting him, and he was such a down-to-earth, chill guy. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the concert review. Make sure to hit the like button on this video. Like it for Chester Bennington. He's right here. He wants you to like it and check out and subscribe to the channel. So if Chester Bennington watches, so should you. I will see you guys very soon right here on Beyond AR TV, Beyond the Reviews.